We have Keriann Koeman here, and she owns a company called In Her Element, Move and Be Moved. She's leading and creating community through feminine embodied movement and luxury retreats like you've never experienced before, providing a soft place to land for women to express themselves unapologetically and unfiltered. She's going to talk to us today about the feminine embodied movement. Welcome, Keriann. We love that you're here.
Yay, it's so good to be here. I really appreciate it.
Well, her element movement is so important for busy people.
Yeah, I mean, that's really how I got into it. Arun and I started our business about 15 years ago, Wicked Tulips Flower Farm. And it was after that first big success when we finally were hitting the goals that we wanted to. We really celebrated. It felt really good. But then by the time we were done with that and we're into the next season, I found that season after season, I wasn't really experiencing the joy of that success anymore. And COVID helped me with that because it made everyone kind of stop, pause, and reassess. And I started taking some different courses online about opening your heart and letting your creativity out. And that's when I rediscovered dance and specifically embodied movement. I used to dance as a little kid, but it didn't stay with me. And also there's all those things like when you want to be a dancer in this way was so freeing. And I started to feel that joy bubbling up. And then I found I wanted to bring that to other women. So I found a mentor online who had a certification program that was really in line with how I wanted things to be, less in your head and more in your body. And so I started working with her, Linny Linnae, with the movement experience, and things just took off. And now we're creating retreats together. I'm going to put myself first. And that's essentially what I came to find was that as a busy woman running two businesses, I have a young son who's 5 and just trying to manage my life and all our lives, that putting myself first gets shoved to the side. And even with business, I should just constantly doing. And I found that was getting in the way of me being able to feel that joy and also feel the creativity to keep creating. I'm an entrepreneur by nature, so I love new ideas. I love trying new things. And when you're all tight and you're all worried all the time, those things don't have any space or room to come up.
Yeah, and it's so easy because we can be so busy. We were talking about this the other day saying, I'm so busy, my day's so busy, I'm packed. You're kind of putting it out to the universe that you don't have room for more clients and that you definitely don't have room for joy or for yourself. And so I like this getting back into your body and just trying to live more authentically as a whole person and not just kind of the person who's running around like a chicken with their head cut off.
Yeah, just giving to everything else. And so one of the things that I do with the women I work with is I try to teach embodied movement classes, which are longer, but just a small everyday thing that you can do, finding something that you can do for yourself to start that day that you have put yourself first. I find that those things build upon each other. And so for me, sometimes all I have time to do in the morning is just a luxurious stretch. And then that might be it because I decided to sleep in. Maybe my alarm didn't go off. Other times I can expand on that and I will do a calming breathing exercise to start my day. And then if I have even more time, if I have 15 minutes, I do a movement experience, which involves 2 songs that I love. And it just helps me get out of my head, out of that to-do list that's already starting to run through my brain, get my child up, get him out the door, then I've got to do my work, whatever it is. It helps me get out of there and into my body again. And it's just like a sigh of relief. And I find that my day often goes much better when I do those things. And it's just usually 2 songs where I sit, sort of like a meditation, and then I do something that I call lift drops, which is just letting my heels lift off the ground and then drop into the ground. It's sort of like rebounding, but without a rebounder. But it gets you into your body almost physically, and it shakes stuff loose. I find that if I'm feeling kind of stopped up or just just kind of stuck, it helps shake things up. And I really like that because as entrepreneurs, as businesswomen, creativity is so key to us, living a fulfilled life and creating fulfilled businesses.
I think without that time and that space, you don't get those hits of inspired action that you need to take. A lot of times we're running off of a to-do list rather than really manifesting what we want and being able to listen for that inspired action that could be taken. And that's awesome that you're figuring out how to work that into your day and get you into that place where you can constantly be creative and constantly be connected.
Yeah, or just even being open to it when those hits or those ideas come. Whereas if I'm too tight and if you're too much in your head, there's no room. Like you said, there's no space for it to find its way in, or it's going to take a heck of a lot longer. And that's where we get in our own way by just keeping ourselves busy all the time, because we think that being busy means something.
I say that it's so easy to just stay busy. There's always something that needs to get done, whether it's in your business or in your home life. And so it's really easy to just fill it with stuff, busy work. And that's not always the best thing.
Exactly. Like today, I had to just get out. For me, I just wanted to get out in nature, hear the birds. It's a little warm out, and I just wanted to walk. And that helped me feel more centered for the day, because I had a rough morning with my son trying to get him off. And so walking today was what I chose. And I was able to walk around the house and go down to our little pond. And I felt so much better. I was like, okay.
And we forget that only takes like 15 minutes, right? It's like that 15 minutes can make you so much more clear-headed and so much more productive, and just shift your energy completely so that the things that you're doing happily and not or begrudgingly through all the time.
Or to have the focus, whereas if your brain is going off in a million directions, you're not really focused because you're not grounded. You're thinking about 10 million other things, so you can't really get to that thing that you want to give your attention to.
Awesome. Well, I'm dying to learn about this movement certification that you got and how that plays into what you're doing to help female business owners.
So the movement is not exercise. And that's the thing. We're often trying to change our bodies, change who we are. And what I'm finding is that who we are, like the essence of who we are, is there. It's just covered over with all the busyness that we keep talking about, all the stuff that we have to do, all the roles we think we need to play. And it's when you can strip those away and you just get down to who you are, nothing's broken, nothing needs to be fixed or changed. You are perfect just as you are. That doesn't mean we're not growing and we're not doing any of those things, but it's always if I was this size, or if I could do this. And so this movement is not exercise. It's not about changing your body. It's about freeing it. And it's going from being in your head to being in that body so that you can actually feel the feelings that you have, feel the creativity, take the time to breathe. And it's a combination of free movement with some specific guided movements. And it's one of those things that's great because you can't get it wrong. I love yoga, but it's not like when you go to yoga and you're going for a specific movement, like you're doing the specific thing and you're trying to like master that. This is, okay, she's giving me a guideline, like maybe it's the heel drops that I was talking about, but maybe I want to shake my arms up because that's just what I want to do versus down. And it's just giving you that time and that space to listen to what your body wants to do and meeting it there. And maybe moving is terrifying. And so maybe you're just doing that and that's okay. Or maybe you just want to sit on the mat. You just want to listen to the music, because I create these like amazing playlists that can really just sink into the music. And again, I just like to create the space and create a guideline, but then it's all about you finding your own way and not being told how to move, or that you should do it this way. All those shoulds, we just get rid of them. So I took that piece and I brought that into my women's circles. That's how we start our meetings. And I really love that because it also can be scary talking to other women, but I feel we need it so much, like what you guys are doing here, bringing women together and supporting them. And we need so much more of those spaces, just where we can feel safe, where we can be who we are and not feel judged. And then like I took that further. I teach the classes, like pop-up classes at the tulip field when it's in bloom. I do the lavender. I'm also going to be doing some things on Zoom so that I can try to even reach more women. And one of the really exciting things I'm doing with my partner, who I got my certification from, Lene of the Movement Experience, is we have created In Her Element together, which is, I love even just the name, In Her Element.
I like it too.
Because it's not like hers or hers, it's yours, whatever yours is. We are creating these amazing luxury immersive retreat opportunities for women where they can come, they can slow down. We're going to be doing the movement. You're going to be spoiled. It's time to give to yourself. We're hoping to do that every year and find other places, but where women can come, leave everything behind, hang out and read a book. Maybe it's just talking to other women. So it's finding your way, but while being really taken care of. Because how often are we taking care of everybody else, everything else, whether it's our business or our personal life, and we don't make the time for ourselves? And so that's why we wanted to create this, to support other women so that their creativity, their love, their joy, their essence, they can uncover it. And we're not transforming them. We're just helping them uncover it a little bit so that they can see who they've been all along, that they've just been too busy to see.
So beautiful, because again, in our culture, it's all about change, transformation, evolve, fix yourself, improve yourself. So it's that constantly thriving to be somebody different, where this is just getting in touch with who you are and celebrating. It's so amazing.
Exactly. And then that comes out in the businesses we create, in our friendships. It's really beautiful. And it's really brought my joy up from, no one's going to give you permission to be who you want to be. Only you.
Or that space. I think that creative energy is just a joyful energy, being able to create things. So I think when it comes to business or creating a new product or service, like all that requires that joyful creative energy. And I think that's generally most of us. I think that's our happy place.
And I had to learn to offload the things that are doing and not feel guilty and not feel bad like that.
And you have to let it go. And when you do, I felt my creativity come back. I didn't even realize I had lost it, but it was like I never had any time to just open that back up and reflect that in what I was working on.
It's interesting now because we have an entire team of VAs that do all of the creative work for us, but you still enjoy being in that creative moment of giving the direction to the team as to what you want it done. It's just a different mindset when you start to delegate things and realize that you have people to support you in that way. And I think being a good leader or being a good boss is also about being creative, coming up with creative solutions, being able to be present in your conversations with your team so that you can hear what their challenges are and give them the tools and the support that they need to do a great job. That's really interesting.
They pop in and they even do things that you hadn't thought about, or something maybe even more creative than you could have come up with.
And it feels so good supporting others. Like that's one of the things we want to even do with her element and everything I'm doing. It's supporting women to help lift them up so that they can, and then they're going to be doing that for other women. So it's like, there's so many different ways you can do that in the world.
Yes, that's perfect. Well, tell us a little bit more about the Scotland retreat.
It's on 2,000 acres and it has 2 beaches, 2 waterfalls, gorgeous renovated castle. And the woman that runs it, we talked to her. So she married this gentleman who owned this and now she's running it. She also has like basically an all-female staff, and they are about creating community. They're about creating an experience, even for the people that work there. It's like working with other people that are about uplifting women, about bringing them together. It's about gathering and even changing the way they do the hospitality work. We just knew we wanted to work with them. Everything's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous and thoughtfully done, every piece. And having women to be able to be in that space and not have to worry about anything, but just being there and being them. It's so magical.
Well, we can put the link so that you can get in touch with Keriann. You can follow her on Instagram, right? And we'll also put a link to the Laundry group as well. And we'll put a link to the Scotland retreat. But you will be doing retreats every year. Just reach out to Keriann and she can make sure that you get the information on the up and coming retreats as well.
Yes.
And I guess we should wrap this up with telling everyone to go move your body however it feels good.
Just find your favorite song, the one that makes you move, if you're in the mood to move. And if you're not, find that slower song and just close your eyes if that feels good to you and just see how you want to move.
Keriann, thank you so much for being with us today. And as always, our information will be in the description below. So if you need to reach out to us, we'd be happy to talk with you about video marketing and outsourcing.
Take care, everyone.